Colin Lockhart has certainly given us a lot to talk about as we know there are 2 remaining for the finals. We'll discuss what's happened in the semi-finals. Also, a lot to look forward to in the way of the international scene with the South African under-17s making a bit of history going into the knockout stages of the under-17 FIFA World Cup. And let's not forget, Bafana continue their preparations, of course, for the Africa Cup of Nations. They are up against Zambia. All that and more to talk about on this week's Game On. Hello, Mzansi. I am Sizwe Mabena. I'm proud to be in your company. The good news is Mark Haskins is back. We'll talk to him a little bit later. We start off with Jerry Sikosana. Jerry, good to be in your company. Let's go back 7 days to last weekend. Skulu Kali knockout and the semi-finals. Pirates Richards Bay was always going to be an interesting encounter. In the end, Muremi scores the goal that makes a difference, but Richards Bay made it interesting in the fight they put up against Pirates. What a game.
What a game, Sizwe, and thank you so much, because you're talking about a game that made me just get glued, you know, on the screen to make sure that it was a wonderful game, because it was not just a walk in the park for Orlando Pirates. A lot of people, they were expecting, but let's give also credit to Richards Bay. I think they did well. But for me, I always want to go back and say, you know, the way football is played nowadays, it gives a lot of support. What a turnout, Moses Mabhida. That makes you feel better as a player as well.
Yes.
It makes you go extra mile in terms of what you want to show the people that come to support. So for me, it was the support and also the spectacular display by both teams in the field of play.
Richards Bay, their tactical approach to try and frustrate Pirates, to put up the fight they did, what did you make of it?
Well, it was a good one, but my problem, you know, when you look at these lower teams, they tend to up the game when they're playing these so-called big teams like Orlando Pirates. I mean, you know what they can do against the Mamelodi Sundowns or Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
But when they come to the other teams that are more equal than them, they shift the gear. I don't know why, but for me, it's a credit that they need to learn that all the games, irrespective of which team you play, you need to do better, as they did against Pirates. Pirates were also lucky to go through.
Yeah, lucky you say.
Lucky, I say.
So what did Richards Bay do right? What did they get right?
I mean, the defense, yes, they were caught napping with that Tsepang Moremi's goal.
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen anyway. But, I mean, their safeguard was top class. I think I give credit to them, because you look at Pirates' attack, it was like a lot of bombastic attack, and they kept it cool. So I think that's something which they really need to look at, but also maybe a little bit of finishing up front, because that's where I look at them and say maybe they lack that instinct of scoring a goal.
Now, let's then move over to Pirates. Even when the games are tough, extremely tough, which we've seen of late, they are somehow able to find the goal that matters. How important is that for a side that's trying to send out a message, which, look, we're amongst the best in the country and maybe the continent, to even win the tough matches? You know,
Sizwe, when I was there at Pirates, sometimes you had to go and scrutinize yourself and say, why am I with this team, these supporters, the followers, everybody? That gives you the edge as a player. I think this is the pressure now every player at Pirates feels, because the support that they get from these people that come and support them, I mean, it's immense. I mean, it's so wonderful, because it gives you something as a player. I think that's why these players are grinding results. And imagine 2 finals.
Yeah.
You know, going to 2 finals after winning the MTN 8, now they're going to play the Carling Cup. So it's something that is good for the players and also the supporters and followers that are following this team.
Well, all roads led to a Tegwini over the weekend. Of course, second semi-final on Sunday, Goldeneros up against Marumo Gallants. Firstly, what a thrilling game. Wow. So much drama with the scoreline going this way and that, and then obviously going into extra time and penalties. Did you expect that sort of game from Marumo Gallants, firstly? And what did you think of the way they went about winning that game?
Well, honestly speaking, I didn't expect that, Sizwe.
Why not?
I mean, you look at their previous games that they played. Yes, they did well against the Stelis in the league game, like when they beat Stelis 4-0.
Yeah.
And then they went on to lose 1-0. So they came there wounded. Same like Goldeneros. Both teams came there wounded.
Yes.
You know, because if you look at the team that plays at home, when I'm wounded, I'm inside my house, I make sure that I've got all the elements of protecting myself. But unfortunately, Marumo Gallants came with something different. I mean, I look at Ndlondlo. Wow, this is what you missed when he was there at Orlando Pirates. Maybe sometimes some of the players don't get to gel well when they play for a bigger club. But I look at him like, I left jersey number 15 at Orlando Pirates. He took over, but always on the bench. It was worrying for me. But the same number 15 for Marumo Gallants, scoring a lot of goals for them. And it's so encouraging to see players doing that. But let's give credit to the whole of technical team, Marumo Gallants, because benza umsebenzi omuhle.
Umanqoba Mngqithi might have a lot to be frustrated about, considering they went to the lead first. Within 2 minutes, they'd conceded. Within 5 minutes, they were chasing the game. It all happened very quickly. But then they were able to find the equalizing goal, and all of extra time, it was attackers, which is golden arrows, against defenders, which is Marumo Gallants, who were just defending for the most part in extra time. So many moments created for arrows, but they weren't able to really break down the Gallants.
Give credit as well to their defense, but obviously the last line of defense, Washington Arobi. Age ain't nothing.
But a number. Yeah, no.
Yeah, they say goalkeepers, they grow through age.
Yeah.
This is exactly what all of them are showing, to be honest. I mean, he was like superb. For me, he was like my man of the match. And let's take back another international goalkeeper, Chipezeze. You compare these two with the teams that they play for. I mean, for me, it was spectacular, but unfortunately to Golden Arrows, because they came with all guns blazing, but they couldn't get a goal. So going to penalties, you know, it's anybody's game.
It's a Ruby's game. So that's our look at the calling knockout semi-finalists. We take our hats off, of course, to both Marumo Gallants and Orlando Pirates, and look forward to what should be a thrilling final indeed, with Pirates looking to make it 2 cup competitions in a row before the midway point of the season. We take a short break, come back, and Mark Haskins steps up and joins us. We talk Bafana Bafana and that all-important against Zambia.
Be in the game.